Morning, everybody. Brother Big Chris here. I want to wish everybody watching or people who's going to see this video a very blessed Monday morning. A lot of times we take Monday mornings for granted. Like the song said, everybody's working for the weekend. But we should always, I believe that we should change that. We should look forward to Monday morning. Look forward to God blessing you with another day to do things all over again, another week to have a better week than what you did last week. Another chance to do things better. Monday mornings, it's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because not only that, Monday mornings means you got something to look forward to. You got more God's blessings to look forward to. You got more good things to look forward to. You have an opportunity right now to face challenges and overcome. To do things differently than what you did last week. So let's be grateful. Let's be grateful to God for Abba Yahweh for Monday mornings. So before I get started, I'm going to talk to y'all about anything that I do say on this broadcast. Anything that I express is solely my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own expressions. Nothing what I say is to be associated with anybody who I'm affiliated with or any of my family. And I say that because I want folks to understand that this is Big C talking. What I'm saying is words out of Big C. What I'm saying is intentionally to be hearing my voice but God's words. Although I am flawed and I am, may say some things the wrong way at times, or might express something that might be a little bit more profane to others, please understand that the heart, the spirit that you're hearing in is that of Abba Yahweh. And that although it might come out of me, out of my personality, sort of rough at times, the spirit is always Abba Yahweh. That's why I submit myself to. I submit myself to the kingdom of God, to the kingdom of Abba, of the Father. So that being said, what I'm gonna express to y'all today is, with the current state of racism, I want to express to us as Afro Americans actually, and it's not so much to exclude Caucasian brothers and sisters or whatnot, or people of other ethnicities. It's just solely that for Afro Americans, we struggled for a very long time when it comes to identity with ourselves. Knowing who we are as a whole, as a people, and even as individuals, as individual human beings. And a lot of that struggle, and like I said, a lot of that is a result of us not knowing who we are as people. We all know the story, first of all, the narrative of most of us Afro Americans here in America, being here in America. Most of us came here through, we were brought here. Well, let me say this. Most of us who are Afro Americans, our ancestral roots are rooted by people who were slaves here in America. In the colonial English slave trade. And slavery did a number on us. And let me say this. A lot of other ethnicities were slaves. I try to stay for the word race when I can, but I'm going to use it today because there's a point to be made with the word race. But we have struggled with knowing who we are as Afro Americans. Because see, the thing is about this: our ancestors who are from Africa, they know who they were. They know who they were. They didn't see themselves based upon just the skin color, beautiful as it is, but they didn't label them. They didn't just see themselves as just alone on that alone. They didn't see themselves as being quote unquote black. They didn't see themselves as being a race. They were just people, you know. They, you know, if they from tribes, they had identities that they know themselves by. If it was a tribe, maybe it's a tribe known for hunting, a tribe known for farming, you know. Um, in Africa, it's a continent. So you have many countries in Africa. And within countries, there are many different tribes. And all those tribes identify themselves by something that pertained to them. You know, for example, you know, you have you have the Zulus. You know, they know to be great warriors. You know, and there's other tribes. You know, that learn from being warriors, and some will learn from being farmers. I mean, like I said, it's you really got to get down in the history and look at each. But they were people. They were people, and that's how they saw themselves. And I believe that with us as Afro Americans here now in America, issue that we have is seeing ourselves as people. I mean, we know we're human beings. We know we're people, but really, how to identify ourselves. Because see, one of the things with slave trade in America, the colonial slave trade, is that, and I don't claim to be an expert just based on history and things I've read about history and whatnot. It was all about breaking us down. Like I said, many other ethnicities were slaves. Irish, I mean, even people in England, you know, poor England, you know what I'm saying? Other Caucasian races were slaves. I mean, you got to hope, it goes on and on. But for us, and that's one of the things too, people always want to have this debate about who suffered more. Where Irishmen suffered more than African Americans in the back and forth, whatever. You know, that's here and there. That's like really dumb to argue who suffered more. Because it's not about who suffered more, it's about the effects of the suffering. We need to look at slavery from the aspects of what happened then that made us where we at right now. And this is not about bringing up slavery to make Caucasian folks feel bad or looking for some sort of apology out of white folks. I mean, that's dumb also, I'm gonna honestly tell you, because first of all, we weren't slaves ourselves. So why the fuck do we need an apology from anybody? If anybody's on an apology or anything, it'll be my great 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 grandfather, my granddad, my mom, my dad, because they went through Jim Crow. They had to live in segregated communities, and they knew what it was like to be treated less than and to be denied certain human rights, like the right to use a clean bathroom or a right to drink out of a clean water fountain. They deserve an apology. I don't need an apology. I mean, from Caucasian America, because my thing is this: some white folks like me, some white folks don't like me. I know who I am in America. I know how I'm looked upon in America. I can accept that, because if I didn't like it, I just leave. I mean, meaning like Josephine Baker, a lot of Marcus Garvey, they didn't like it, and can you blame them? No, I do not blame them. They left. If you think being in a situation, the if the disadvantages outweigh the benefits of being somewhere, then you change your location. You know, that's common sense right there. But for me, I love America, in spite of the things I deal with in America as an Afro American man. Um, a lot of my ancestors I'm talking about right now, they paid for that, so I could enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm at advantages right now that they could only dream of being at. So my thing for me is I'm gonna say right here, I'm gonna enjoy the advantages that they work hard to give me, such as being able to vote, being able to contribute to society, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy that, and I'm going to expound upon that and build upon that legacy. So, as I was saying, one issue that we have is that how we African Americans know right now is that I mean the main issue we have right now is how we see ourselves and how we're viewed in society in terms of the judicial system is one. Uh, when you go to court, having dark skin put you at disadvantage already. And this is not a thing of this is not about being a victim. If anything, hopefully this what I'm about to share with y'all. I hope it takes you out of the victim mentality and puts you in a victim mentality. If anything else, that's why I want to come out of this talk right here is to be able to encourage. Um, Also, before I forget, please feel free to comment. I mean, anything that I say, don't think you don't have to agree with me, and we don't have to agree with each other to respect each other's thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have different thoughts and different opinions for the most part because you never know if we're all seeking truth. We never know just how much truth can be built up when we share among each other. So, like I said, anything I say here, please feel free to comment. Disagree, feel free to disagree. I'm gonna say I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Might be some things I could overlook and missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So please share. You know what I'm saying? Because iron sharpens iron. When we're talking to each other as adults and showing each other respect, that's iron sharpening iron. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta be. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't be disrespectful towards me. So I'm not gonna disrespect you. Okay? I'm not gonna disrespect your thoughts and whatnot. So please don't disrespect my thoughts. You know, so we may agree and disagree on some things. We're gonna be respectful to each other. And I really try not to say that, but this time and day now, what we're in right now, a lot of times people who are assholes, they feel they can just be an asshole freely, without no consequences, and that's not the case with me. So anyway, uh, as Afro Americans, we've always felt we had to work harder. We had to prove ourselves. We had to sometimes even give up, try to fit in, give up who we are, identity to try to fit in. We sometimes some of us felt like we had to put down who we were to fit in with greater society. And a lot of times with greater society, people say white society, but I'm gonna say greater society because it's really not just a black white thing. Actually, I mean it really ain't. We come across as being that because what we see every day. But I'll get more on that later on. We've always felt the need to have to prove ourselves more. We always felt like we were on the outside, trying to get inside. You know what I'm saying? It was a point at one time, during like after when slaves got freed. Well, we'll talk about slavery first. First of all, I think when slavery exists, our identity got stripped as people. Families got separated. Uh, the family unit was manipulated because you have a family already set a family from Africa, and some slave traders, probably more than some, would adhere to the Willie Lynch method of buck breaking, in which the slave famous slave maker Willie Lynch had this system of buck breaking, and similar to what you do with horses, as it is said, by the way. And basically, what you do is you separate all slaves according to categories, according to their skin color, height, sexuality, age, just any kind of differences that was there, you would separate them based on that. And then, long story short, you put them all against each other, make them distrust each other, you break the family bond. You know what I'm saying? You take the father out, you take the father or the man out of the family, humiliate him in front of the woman and the child. So now the woman feels like she can't trust the man to protect her now. And now the slave master is the one who's in control. And therefore, the woman is taught to look upon the slave master, and all the slaves are look towards the slave master for their provisions for the most part. They're taught to look to the slave master basically for permission to do anything. So now, with that being done, the woman, when she has children, they made it with different other slaves. You know, based on however the slave master say he want to do it, because they want to produce workers. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get the strongest workers out. You know, be born. So of course, you know, they mate with whoever they slave master told them to mate with. So now, when a woman has his child, she's already in the distrust of the man to protect her already now. So she's gonna do whatever the slave master say do, because she don't want her son or her children to be treated as that man was treated. She don't want to see that her child to be hurt. But she saw her man get beat down, castrated, beat, you know what I'm saying, basically destroyed in front of her. So she could do anything that slave master say do to protect her children. So this is why they say that the whole thing is they raise them up to be strong and dumb. Because basically that's what they did. They raised them up to be the men to be strong, physically strong, but not to be, but no manhood for the most part. No sense of being a leader, no sense of being a king, no sense of being a protector. Say a lot. If you think about that for a while, as a state of a lot of our men are now, right now here in America. And again, as Afro Americans, we're talking about this, how it affects us, by the way, right now. And it's not a thing to make you hate white people. It's about going back and looking at history, how it affects our situation right now. Because you got, you know, you don't know where you're from, you don't know where you're going. A lot of folks will say, well, we don't need to talk about slavery no more. The hell we don't. The hell we don't. Because the only way we're going to have a better nation, the only way we're going to be able to move forward as a people, the only way we will move forward together with other ethnicities, you know, to be able to get along and to be able to respect each other, is to go back and look at our history and look at what was done and look at what was done wrong. That's how you fix a problem. Get to the underlying issue or what it was. You can't keep treating the symptoms. You got to get to the root cause and find out what the root cause is. Having the kumbaya moments, God forgive me, don't mean shit into something until we get to the problem of why did we get here in the first place. So, with that being said, we have that aspect now with slavery. And let me say this, in slave times, every slave master didn't subscribe to inhumane treatment of their slaves, by the way. Let me make that clear too. A lot of times that's the old narrative we hear is, you know, bad white folks beating up poor black people. That's true to a degree. Like I said, most people describe to Willie Lynch's method of boat breaking, but not everybody did. There were some slave makers who really, you know, like I said, for them it's about the money, and they actually did give their slaves a little bit more humane treatment. I'm not saying that slavery was right at all, but they gave them a little bit more humane treatment than other slaves did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't go out beating them and going on and raping them, you know, raping the women for their entertainment. They actually treated them someone with some kind of respect. You know what I'm saying? They fed them some. They gave them slave food, yeah, but like I said, they did give them trying to give them a little bit more humane conditions to live in. Not probably good as theirs, being in the big house, but at least they didn't treat them like animals for the most part. You know, they actually try to take care of them, give them a good place to sleep at, make sure they were warm at night, make sure they, what I'm saying, they had some sort of like, not saying they try to make them uncomfortable, but like I said, a little bit more humane treatment than what some of the slave masters did. Just putting that out there, by the way. Because some of us, we have property down south because the slave masters, well, after they, some slave masters actually willed their property to their slaves. So yeah, some of us did get our 40 acres and a mule. Some did, most didn't. But like I said, another story. But anyway, we now come after slavery. Now after slaves are now, with all that being said about the butt breaking, how the slaves were broken down, how they were treated, and how they actually made, how slave masters made the slaves not trust each other. Now let's fast forward to slaves being free. So think about this: if you've been taught and been programmed and conditioned mentally to depend upon this Caucasian person to take care of you all your life, he's giving you a further sense of purpose by being a slave, and now you're free to go. You're free to venture off into the world. And yeah, there were a lot of us slaveries, our ancestors, who revolted against slavery. By the way, like Nat Turner, they revolted against slavery, and some of them, the people who were born free, they fought to get back free again. But once you're born in captivity and raised in captivity, for the most part, that's all you know. Until somebody talk to you about being free, until somebody expose you to freedom, or expose information to you about being free. That's all you know. Because a lot of us, when we hear the narratives about slaves being set free, a lot of us we think, oh yeah, good job, that's fine. But for a lot of them slaves who were raised in captivity, they didn't know what to do with themselves. Like, where are we going to go now? Like, this is all we know. What the hell are we going to do now? I remember watching, I found that out because I watched this movie. I think it's called 10,000 Men. I think it's either 1,000 Men Named George or 10,000 Men Named George. And it's based about the George Pullman, the railroad, when a lot of the workers in the railroad, when they was fighting for, for certain rights. And one of them in the movie, it stars Charles Dutton and Mario Van Peebles. And in the movie, one of the older cats, basically, so they was kind of forming a union for the most part. And one of them, they snitched to the company, to the railroad company, right, about what's going on. And when they found out who ratted, it was the old dude that ratted. And it was like, why would you rat inside? Like, why would you want to work for them? And he told him, he said, because they asked me to. And some folks that talk about, well, don't you want to be, why you want to be somebody's slave? And then old man was like, well, how would you know about slavery? You know nothing. I was a slave. We was told, all of a sudden, been a slave all your life, but then time you get told you're free. Free to do what? Venture out in the world with no place to go, don't know where to turn. So when they came, he talked about how grateful they were when they heard about the jobs on the train, and how grateful a lot of the free slaves were happy to hear about. Okay, fine, we get a job now, and we do something with ourselves. So you gotta think about that, about slavery and how it affected us. And that's how, and even to this day now, it's like that for a lot of us, because what was gonna bring me to my next thing is, how are we not being black? I mean, my hair is black, but I'm not black. My skin is brown, a nice chocolate, smooth brown. Um, that's how race got started. So now let's look at history. Look back about history and the consumption of America being colonized for the most part. You know how our English people came here seeking religious freedom, right? Right. Now, some of those people infringed on the freedoms of Native Americans who were already here, taking care of the land, cultivating the land, right? And sometimes some of the people and some of the folks when they started doing slavery, some slaves out of them. Native Americans were like, "You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna make slaves out of us. Whatever. We'll scalp you first." So when they find out, so they got overpowered. Native Americans moved on for the most part. So now we had a colonial slave trade, and you got slaves coming over here, and then the slaves being freed, right? So now, so the slaves, some of the slaves that were freed, Irishmen came over here also as well, looking for freedom and looking for live a healthier lifestyle, trying to get away from diseases and whatnot. People, English people did not like Ireland. Irish people, they were hated, and Irishmen were at one point were slaves themselves also as well. England and sometimes even in America. But for the most part, they didn't. Irish folks were just hated. I mean, like really, when folks talk about using the N word, talking about using the word nigger. Irishmen were the first niggers. They were considered to be niggers first before we ever were, for the most part. Now I might be wrong in saying that. If my facts are not correct historically, please feel free to comment. Like I said, but I'm just saying based on what I've seen, what I've read and looked upon this way, it seems to be that way. But I could be wrong. So the ghettos in America were not created necessarily just for us. They're created for people that were unwanted. Irishmen, Jews, the Slavic Jews, uh, Germans, people who came here that were not of English descent for the most part. You know, even the poor, the poor of England. You know, some of them. We all stayed in ghettos for the most part. Stand on top of on one another. Watching the movie Gang of New York doesn't really give a per se a accurate description detail, but it gives you a good idea of what was going on there. Um, Everybody was poor. At one point, yeah, you saw Irishmen and Afro Americans who, people born in captivity working together. Because again, we're both busted and disgusted. We peoples now because the bottom line is, you poor, I'm poor. You know what I'm saying? We all niggas right now, for the most part. That's how we're seen as. You know, so there were a lot of when I studied this, I realized I studied that there were a lot of uprisings also among the poor. And there's only like you talk about the people who are rich and power right now. A lot of these families, they made their livings off back to the poor. And a lot of these poor people, they got tired of being mistreated. And that means, and then also along with that, all of us, work and try to make money and whatnot. Of course, if we're in the struggle together, we're gonna band together, and what I'm saying, we're gonna ride together. So yeah, there's a lot of uprisings, among the poor, Irishmen, African Americans, Germans, whatever the case may be, side by side in arms, uprising for a better life. So this is where race came into play at, and this is how race got created. The melting pot. A lot of times we hear that word, and in theory they say that the melting pot was about everybody banding together and being the same. But really, what the melting pot really is that all the Caucasian ethnicities were where everybody who were of a Caucasian ethnicity were made white, and they were given better opportunities than those who were not of Caucasian descent. So now you have white and black. Whites got the better opportunities. They got a little bit more pay. They got a little bit more better economic standing than what others have. So now you got a race. What's a race? A competition. What's happening right now? The government now is making a class of people who worked together at one point, who suffered together at one point, compete against each other. Think about it. Divide and conquer. We always say there's strength in numbers, but there's division, but but you can conquer when you divide. If I got y'all two fighting against each other, if I'm rich and if I'm rich and I got a business going on, I need workers, right? Now, of course, folks back then who was rich then, they made their money out the backs of other people. So you do a lot of work, basically not right now. You do a lot of work for a little pay. Okay? You basically bust your ass and make somebody else rich. Rich and powerful. I want to keep being rich. This uprising I keep doing is interfering with my money. It's interfering with my money. The government now is not getting their money. Because a lot of times with the government, and as they do now, they got money from these people. So okay, let's work together. Okay, let's make a race. We'll make some of y'all white. Okay, we'll give y'all a little bit more higher pay. We'll give y'all a little bit more opportunities. We'll give you a little bit more education. Now, here's the thing: is this, and this is what the whole thing of white supremacy could come in at. Just because you label white supremacy is never about skin color. It's about money. You feel a little bit more secure because you get a little bit more opportunity. That's the ideology, right? Oh, well, you white, so we get a little bit more pay. People outside, blacks now, looking at, well, they get treated differently because they're considered white now. So they get the more opportunities now where we don't get none. Okay? So now there's the blacks looking at white supremacy, seeing white supremacy right now. And there's these other white people here now who got to treat people seeing it as being a little bit more, being considered to be a little bit more in a supreme position. But really you're not. Because the rich folks ain't giving these white folks enough money to be rich like them. They're giving enough money to keep their mouths shut for the most part. Enough to still control them. Enough to say here, okay, at least you got a little more pay than what they got. And like I say, yeah, please, yeah, go ahead and fight against each other. Yeah, fight. Because now it's still poor people still. Now you got poor people competing against each other. Trying to obtain satisfactory economic standing or desired economic standing, and also trying to obtain social favor. So that's the race right there. That's the race right there. So now being called black. So white means you get more opportunities, a little bit better opportunities in economic standing, education, and a little bit more social standing. What does it mean to be black? It's the opposite. You're poor. You have lower education. You don't get the opportunities to the quality of economic understanding that you require, that you need, just like the white folks got. So now we're fighting for that now. Now people will say, well, how did that get started in the first place? Well, let's go back to the Bible. Because I truly do believe that a lot of what we deal with right now goes back to Noah. So we all know that with Noah, have three sons: Shem, Ham, Japheth. Right? I read this book about Dr. Confucius. I think it was Confucius. I'm saying his name wrong, but he had a book about people of color, and he broke down basically what it is in this book. He showed that basically Noah's three sons were the father of the ethnicities we have here now here in the world. Shem is the father of the Arabic nations. So Iraq, Iran, Palestine, places like those are under Shem. Japheth is called the father of the Gentile nation. So Gentiles are considered to be like Greeks, Russians, Romanians, basically no more than Caucasian nations, Irish, all of them come from Japheth. England, anybody in the Mediterranean world parts of the world, that's Japheth is their father. Now, Canaan is the sons of Ham. Ham is the father of most of the African, for African nations. In the Bible, we talked about basically the curse of Ham. And in the past, if you heard this, I said probably back like in the 60s and 70s probably, people said the curse of Ham basically said the reason why we as African Americans have big noses and big noses and whatnot and lips and all that, that's the curse of Ham. Bullshit. For the most part, my body's not a curse. My skin color is not a curse. It's a blessing from God, first of all. Just like everybody out there who got their skin color, Caucasian, Latin American, whatever the case may be, wherever hue of skin you got, it's a blessing from God. Okay? But the curse of Ham really pertains to, and I'm reading it in the Bible. I believe this. This is where slavery came in at for us. This is why we as Afro Americans are descended from slaves. Because you think about slavery, how can somebody just be enslaved just like that? How can a bunch of people, English folks go over there and just start stitching up people up, making them slaves? Some work hard. Most of us, we were traded in. So let me read this to you, and you let me know what you think about this or what I'm about to read to you, okay? So basically, we know that for the most part, real quick, Noah got drunk. He had something to sip on. Had too much, got drunk. Took his clothes off, acted a fool. Ham saw him, and Ham clowned him. Yeah, so he saw his daddy naked, and he made fun of him, right? But Japheth and Shem didn't do that. They showed their power, in spite of their dad being drunk and acting a fool. They should honor their father by not looking at him being naked, getting him a robe or a blanket or whatever, and just hey, Pop, look, come on, Dad, let's come on, and Robert, and they covered him up, right? So when Noah woke up from being drunk and hung over, he basically found out what happened, and Ham was the younger son. So this is the curse that Noah had put on Shem. This is the curse that Noah put on Ham. So it's in Genesis, Genesis chapter 9, 18 to 28. So here's the curse. The curse starts at verse 25. So it says here, and I'm reading this from the King James Bible, Spirit-filled Life Bible. Cursed be Canaan, a servant of cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord of God, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. So, well, as African Americans, we tend to think that white folks has got it so much better than what we got. That's the perception that we have of Caucasians. They got it better than what we got. Life seems easy for them, which is some cases may be true to an extent, but not really all the way, because everybody Caucasian is not in the same class. Everybody, and here it is right here. We talk about white and black. People say you talk white, you talk black. People say you talk white, you talk a proper English. You sound a little educated. You talk black, you talk broken English. You don't sound as educated. When we say things like, okay, white folks do stuff like that, because they got all that money. That's how we think. Because that's the perception that we have. Because we think everybody who's white is from the suburbs. They went to a prep school and they got money, which is, of course, far from the truth. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, we think they got white privilege. Okay, far from the truth, but that's the perception that we have, and that's the perception that race gives. When race got created, that's the perception that they wanted. That's what the rich and the government wanted the black people, other black folks to have about race, about them being white. They got it better than what you do, so therefore, be mad, be jealous, clown, fight each other over that. Meanwhile, the same white folks thinking like, well, look here, we ain't rich, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got some jobs here, but we still basically getting screwed on Vaseline still, you know what I'm saying? Well, we don't make enough money. We don't make enough money to bank out, to send our kids to a rich college or anything like that. We don't make enough money where we can actually, not work. We still one paycheck away from being in the poor house ourselves. So see, that's how it works. That's the manipulation right there of race. And see, not only is it screwing us, because now with us, it screws us in terms of how we see ourselves. It still screws other people, because the bottom line is they still don't get enough still. They're still being screwed over. So now both of us are being screwed over to fight now, manipulated against each other now, based off perceptions. So now, how does more apply to us, how we see ourselves? We keep operating under the term black. And that's something that I would say that I feel that we should stop doing. Because when you keep operating under that term black, you accepted all the things of what it means of what it was designed meant. You accept what black means. You accept what it was designed to mean in the first place. That you're not educated, that you stay in poverty, you know what I'm saying, that you are poor. Because think about this. Why is it that we are the only people who, as brown skinned people, who still embrace being in the ghetto, or embrace being in a lower economic standing? Like it's almost like a badge of honor. The word nigger. The word nigger means someone that's void of class. It means you're a savage. It means you're someone ignorant. It's an English word. And I did. I learned this from Dr. Bill Cosby. You know, it's a word. It's an English word. You know, it means that you are of no class. Englishmen use this word to call anybody who was not aristocratic English. Anybody who wasn't of their social standing was a nigger. It had nothing to do with it with your skin color. So watch your class. Like I said before, Irishmen were niggas before we were. So why is it that today we embrace the word to say that it's our word? It's not our word. Why do we want to accept that? I don't care, nigga or nigga. Nigga is listen. The word nigga, Nigga, is slave dialect for nigger. Cause slaves, you think about this, when the slaves were first being made, they didn't speak proper English. A lot of African slaves from Africa, when they was being broken into and men being stripped of their languages and made to talk the English language, they said things with a certain dialect. Now here's my grammar. Dialect and slang is two different things. Nigger, in its original essence of the word, is nigger. It is not slang. It is dialect. Dialect is how somebody pronounce words. So when we say certain things like grinding, we say grinding. We don't say the G at the end of it. When slaves said when they say the word master, they say massa, which word they mean the word master. When they say that nigga over there, that they say that nigger, because that's what they was taught to see themselves as they were niggers. Y'all, most of y'all saw Roots. Most of y'all saw the scene where the slave master talked to Toby, and Toby told said, Toby, be a good nigger, right? Y'all saw that. Okay, so yeah, if you're being stripped of your identity, and now you're being stripped of your humanity for the most part, actually, but being told you're a nigger. I'm gonna say this, God forgive me for saying this, Father God. Why the fuck are we accepting that? And why do we want to say that word belongs for what? Now, I'm from the hood myself. I'm guilty of saying the word nigga all the time also myself, because I heard it from my parents say it. Again, it's just that curse. It goes down the line. But at some point, somebody got to stop it. And for me, now that, through studying and reading and reflecting, it's like, I see now, yeah, why do we want to say, try to say we're going to try to own the word nigger? It ain't, it's an English word. I mean, it was created as a word to be insultive to people. So why do we want to keep that insult upon ourselves as a badge of honor? It's not a badge of honor. Being a real nigga, I mean, it's nothing about it that's honorable. Really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it really ain't. And that's what I say. Some of us we still hold on to a slave mentality still. Even now, we're physically free as slaves, but mentally, we're still a slave mentally. I'm not a nigger, to say it like that. And there are times when I get out of habit, I got to catch myself saying, saying, what's up, nigga, and all that. Like I took my brother and all that. Sometimes we getting, with the hood come out of us and we got talking, and I got to watch myself sometimes. But one thing for sure I will not do, and I do not do now, I have 2 grandsons. Got to throw it away. My grandsons are not niggas. I don't call them niggas. I don't, I say Negro sometime, and I actually need to stop saying Negro because Negro means black in Spanish. But they're not niggas. Some folks might say that little nigga right there, and I understand why people say it, so I don't make a big deal about it because I know that. But when they're hearing who they are out of Pop-Pop's mouth, y'all not niggas. Y'all are men. They're not even black men. They're men. Yes, you are Afro-American. Your ethnicity, yes, you have a beautiful ethnicity rooted in Africa. You're Afrocentric, yes, it is. But you are an American because you're born here in America, and you are to be treated as such, and you are to demand to be treated as such. I tell my kids, yes, I tell my sons that, my grandson's at. I didn't do too much with my kids because I was just, still somewhat of a slave mentality myself still. But once you get free from that mentality, you can't go back to it. You don't want to go back to it. People may look at me, look at where I'm from, and they mind may still say a nigga. That's fine. Okay, I can accept that. That's how you see me. That's what you want to go by. Then that's fine. I mean, I'm not, really for the most part, I'm not trying to pressure you no way. So it's like, really could give a fuck. What you think about me? Let me say, I really could give a fuck. What you think about me? I'm gonna say a little more slower, so you're gonna understand that. I'm concerned about how I live my life in the eyes of Yahweh. That's what I'm concerned about. I want to make sure that Yahweh knows that I'm being a faithful husband, a good husband, that I'm being a good dad, and that now I'm being a good grandfather. I want to make sure that I'm being a good brother to all my people, Caucasian, Latino, African American, case may be. I want to know and make sure that I'm being a good friend. I make sure that I'm treating people right, and I'm treating other human beings the right way. That's what I care about. I want to make sure that Yahweh sees that. That's what I care about. If you don't like me because of my skin color, because of my ethnicity, the way I talk, you know what I'm saying? When I do talk slang talk, street talk, you don't gotta like me. If you don't like me because you might think that because I don't think the way other Afro Americans or other black folks think, that's fine too. You ain't gotta like me. I'm not here to press nobody. I'm here to live my life. I represent the kingdom of God. That's what I'm here for. That's who blessed me to be here. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I'm not trying to make friends with people who don't want to be friends with me. I respect everybody. But I'm not trying to put on a show for people. I'm not trying to get good with nobody. I'm not going to try to fit in with greater society to be accepted. Do not care. God blesses me. Yahweh blesses me. My Father in heaven blesses me. Now, my identity, I see myself, is through the eyes of Yahweh. And that's why I want to encourage us today as Afro Americans. And again, Caucasian people, please don't feel offended. I'm not trying to exclude you, but I want to help my people right now here in America have a change and have a free mentality. To break off, get that flesh mentality off of them of judging themselves based on what they see, but understanding that you are children of God. Those of you who accept, Father, let me say this: those of you who accept what Jesus did for you, you're children of God. God makes you special. We as Afro Americans, we have contributed a lot to the building of this country. We have contributed a lot to the infrastructure of this country. We have in so many ways, and in terms of serving in the government. Excuse me. In terms of being inventive and inventions, in terms of science, mathematics, labor. Philosophy. We've contributed a lot to America. We've helped build America. This land is ours. So I'm gonna tell you the way. I think it was the movie Drum. I think it was. Could be wrong. I want to say Mandingo, but I think it was the movie Drum. So Drum is basically part 2 of Mandingo, because Drum is Mandingo's son, right? So I think it's the scene with Cicero, basically trying to get free. And right before Cicero told him, he said, "This land is as much as mine as it is yours." It is. But when we operate under, but that's the thing about it. We've been taught to operate upon our mentality of being victims to the point that we think that we are victims, that we accept the victim mentality, and then we don't stand as victors. We don't stand as Americans. We don't stand as human beings. Well, take that back. We say as human beings, but we say as human beings who are victimized. We are Americans, and we deserve to be treated as such. I don't care how you see me. I don't care how you think about me or look at me. Respect me. Bottom line, damn it, respect me. I'm in this country. My ancestors contribute to this country, and I still contribute to this country still. Respect me. Respect me. As Afro American, respect me. I don't want you. Look, I'm gonna say it like this, and this is where someone's going to disagree at. I don't want your I don't want your freebies. I don't want you to make life easy for me because I'm Afro American. I don't want that. I know. All I demand is respect me. I go to work. I expect to get paid the same amount of money that the Caucasian dude is getting paid also as well. If I do a crime, okay, arrest me. Remember my rights. If I'm acting in a proper conduct with you as law enforcement and giving you a hard time, guess what? Don't beat me up. I'm not your punching bag. Handcuff me, or if it needs to be so, bring me back to the squad car, take me on to jail, whatever case may be. While I get in front of the judge, punish me according to what I did wrong. Don't punish me because you see this, and you think, oh, and because you got a preconceived notion what this means. It's actually mostly probably perverted. Because he dark skinned, because he from the hood, because how he dressed, he's guilty. No, judge me based on my character and judge me based on the crime that I committed. If what I did deserve 5 to 10 years, then give me 5 to 10 years in. Don't add another 10 years onto it. Don't add another 15 years onto it just because of this. And because you feel that you can, because you think because of this here, you think this means I'm poor and I can defend myself. So I hope this encouraged some of y'all, to think differently right now. Again, please feel free to comment. You don't agree with what I'm saying or what I can be, feel free to comment. Um, we're all in this together. We're all in this together as Americans, as people. We can live together, but we gotta get back, but we gotta look back at our history sometime and have the discussions so we can get some healing among ourselves as Americans. Everybody, brother Big Chris here. I love all of y'all. Um, people, Americans, stand as people. Stand as God's people. This here is beautiful, but it's not all of who you are. It's in here. It's in here. One love.